My name is Markus. We are here in my private studio for Hifi and home cinema. I started as a crazy Hifi enthusiast many years before. Had many loudspeakers and other Hifi components in the last years. Also in this studio and in my former flat. In a couple of years it became crazier and crazier, and now I have reached my personal goal to have a really great sounding active system from Bohne audio in this case, and some great also analog and digital electronics. And now when I'm here in my room, I can really enjoy listening to music or having real great cinema experience. And I'm very glad that some people in Germany come to visit me to have a great hi-fi experience and want to get some advice of how to treat a room or how to use digital room correction professionally. And I'm glad to give them advice and do not make the same mistakes as I did many years before. The special thing about the Bohne speaker system, and one of the reasons for me that I chose it years before, was the special ribbon he uses. It's a patented ribbon that can play until, I think in some speakers, till 500 Hertz. Also at very loud levels. Very friendly to your ears, huge dynamics, and it's the only one that can deliver that performance, in my view. This is the development of the company Bohne Audio itself. Bohne has a very consequent active concept. So in their speakers, every passive crossover is put away. They got rid of all the passive crossovers. Why use them? Because they have a digitally managed system by Trinnov, for example, and they use the full potential of this digital room processing and active crossover managing that these devices offer. And I find this a very consequent way not to do the room correction with a passive system, but also use the active crossovers. I find this interesting and consequent, and for me it gives the best sound results that I had. The special thing about my system and the customized YOLO system that is offered by Bohne is that there are more components that you can place on different positions in the room. So in my case I have an open buffle unit with the patented ribbon, combined with a mid-range tweeter that goes down until about 200 Hertz. And I have a separate bass unit. And the bass unit I could position in my room at the place where it works best. And I think many rooms have the problem that the place of the bass unit should be chosen very carefully to get out the most of sound out of it. When you inform yourself about the possibility to improve your sound in a well-treated room, you land very fast at the brand Trinnov. And so I tried it out, first with passive speakers, and it was a wow effect. The bass performance in my room was perfect after using the Trinnov room correction. Also, the stage of the sound was improved. And I think one of the reasons is because Trinnov not only corrects the amplitude of the sound depending on your room influence, it also corrects time domain, so that all frequencies arrive at your ear at the same time. And I think this is one of the most important effects for real Hifi experience, that the time domain is perfectly managed. So I'm glad with these possibilities that Trinnov as a preamp unit offers, and especially combined with the Bohne Audio active concept that uses the whole potential of this machine. I have to say clearly to all the guys who like analog out there, for me, the digitally and room-corrected system brings the analog sound and the source much more closer to my ear than any other analog system that is not corrected in the world. So for me it was the experience listening to an analog source by a digitally managed system is a closer analog experience than listening to an analog source in a not optimized room. Because the room influence, I have to say, is about 15 dB, 10 dB plus minus that the room does. This has nothing to do with high fidelity or the high fidelity analog sound recorded to the analog medium. So for me, I get digitally closer to analog. Some people, when they talk about Trinnov, say, oh, well, it's only a PC. Well, only is the wrong word. It certainly is a PC, and I think it's good that it is a PC inside this great audio unit, because it has a much better performance than any DSP chips. I think the art of Trinnov is to combine the PC world with the Hifi audio world. Create one machine that uses the best of both to get out the best sounds to my ear. I'm enthusiastic about this concept, about the digital corrections to get closer to the analog source. Another advantage of the Trinnov, and especially my Altitude 32 unit, is that you have lifetime software upgrades. I was very glad about the possibility to cascade the bass management to other speakers, to give some bass of the head speaker to the front speaker and then to the subwoofer. There are excellent possibilities with these features, and you get it for free when Trinnov updates its software. This is one reason for what I like the modular concept of the Altitude, especially because there are also some hardware components that can be upgraded. So you don't have to buy a whole new unit in 5 years, but you could buy another HDMI board. The standards change. So you don't have to invest every 5 years a lot of money again, but you can certainly invest only in special parts of the unit. The Altitude itself is, for me, a long-term partner.